Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else can do like you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shades of Sasha. Today I'm just showing you how I achieve this flawless face, so just keep on watching. So we're gonna prime our face with the Milk Primer, and I already moisturized my face before this. So after this, we're gonna go in with a translucent powder and just set all over the areas that you know you are specifically oily in, if you're an oily face person, or just set your whole face. Then I'm just gonna go in with this setting spray by Anastasia, and I'm just going to spray my face. So after this, I use the Maybelline concealer in the shade Sand, I believe is that one, but all the things that I use will be listed below. Typically, I highlight and contour under my foundation, and I also highlight and contour after as well. So one of the things that I will definitely say to do is you don't have to be as precise as possible when it comes to this specific step. You can obviously don't be messy, but you don't have to worry about everything being perfect. So let the concealer sit on your face for about like 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and then you go in and blend everything out, because you don't want to work with a product that's still wet and just bouncing all over the place. So this is specifically what I mean when I said I'm not being as precise as possible, because you can see some of the shade from the contour is actually rubbing into, well, it's not even rubbing, it's just dabbing kind of into the highlighting points. I don't touch my nose, and I just kind of leave the cheeks for what it is. So after doing this, I go in with my Nars I'm in the shade Belem for my foundation, and I am not going to lie to y'all, I blend for at least 6 minutes. Yeah, 6 minutes. Don't knock it till you try it. Put a timer on and blend for 6 minutes, and then you're gonna see the difference. So I just put a show on, I put up something on, music, whatever it is, to just keep me entertained, because whenever I'm doing this process, I am definitely doing this process with time. I'm not doing this process and rushing. So y'all can see right here, I'm just watching something. I think I was watching Charmed, but I'm buffing it and buffing it into my skin, and I'm just making sure that I'm taking my time to do so. So after that, I go in with the Infallible Fresh Wear foundation. It's a powder foundation, and I go in and I add that to my on top of my foundation, because I really want it to seep into my skin. I want my foundation to be as flawless as it possibly can. So I'm using the Milani Cosmetics highlighters, and is a Conceal Perfect. The shades will be listed below. So I use 2 different shades, and why I do so is to get me the perfect shade that I want to, but it just makes the blend and the mix of it hits my skin tone in a perfect way. That's why I use 2 different shades when I'm doing mine. I use one that's lighter to kind of bring out more brightness, and then I'll use one that is close to my complexion to tone it down a little bit more. So obviously at this point, you're going to be as perfect as you can when it comes to blending. So what I did is I left it sitting for 30 to 45 seconds, like I said before, to do, and then I actually sprayed my face again with the dewy set. After you do that, you're just gonna go in and you're gonna blend that bad boy out. So after this, I'm gonna go back in again with the translucent powder, and I'm just going to set my face so that it can just bake. And while I'm doing this process, the next step I'm going to do is probably gonna seem kind of backwards to a lot of people. I actually go in with this Morphe bronzer, and I bronze my face before I actually contour and do anything else. I don't know, I just really think it works for me. Maybe one day I'll actually do the method of the other way that people do, but for some reason I just can't help myself. So I just warm my face up with this shade just to go in and bronze every single thing. And then the next process of when I go in and highlight and contour, I actually do a method that's doubled. So I do this with a cream, and then I actually go in with a powder over the cream. But I don't blend one out and then do the next. I use them both at the same time. So this is a contouring sculpting powder by Natasha Denona, and I'm just going in with that shade and just buffing everything in my skin and just blending it out the best way I can, and just taking my time to do so. So I'm gonna go over with this composition notebook again to highlight and contour the points of my face that I want to. So I use the 3 at the bottom and just the 1 at the top left to actually go over my face in the points to highlight and contouring. So once I finish doing this, I just set my face again with the Anastasia Dewy Setting Spray, and then I go over my lips with a black liner. I always use a black liner. It's honestly very rare that I use a brown liner. And I have a bunch of different nude lipsticks that are cream based that are just all over. So I was like, okay, let me pick up this random one. And I just put it on. This was a total accident. I definitely did not plan to do this, but I actually just like the way that it came out. So after I do that, I go in with this Nars blush and I just go over the cheek points that I really want to just emphasize. And then I'm going to go in with this Crayon case highlighter. It's the Honor Roll highlighter, and I'm just gonna focus on the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose, and then all the points of my face that I want to bring the highlight into. And then I just add my lashes, and that's pretty much it. That is how I do my flawless, full coverage, like oily skin babe protected base. So this is the final look. I make sure that I put it aside at least 1 hour whenever I'm going to do a flawless finish. It's not a 10-minute, it's not a 5-minute, I'm sorry, like it takes time. So just make sure that you put time aside whenever you're trying to achieve a look like this. But if you try any of the techniques, just let me know. Let me know if you actually do any of these already, but this is what I know works for me. So I hope you guys enjoy. But thank you so much for watching and supporting your girl.